Hey guys, welcome to the J-Chip Show. My name is J-Chip, and today I'm going to be showing you my August and September pickups, as well as some other pickups that I missed in the past few months because I went away and I got two new systems. So technically this is a collection video, two collection videos in fact, but it's all just pickups anyway, so let's get to it. Starting off with the Blu-rays, first up we got The Great Gatsby. I read the book a long time ago, really liked it a lot, and I wanted to check out the movie. Unfortunately, I still have not checked out the movie, but once I do, I'll let you know what I thought. Next up, a movie I saw in theaters opening day, Shazam. I thought this was a really good movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies, and I don't know, I thought it was hilarious, and I can't wait for a second one if it happens because I thought it was a really good movie, and definitely one of my favorite DC movies of all time, at least in the DCU. Speaking of DCU, Batman vs. Superman. I know this movie gets a lot of hate, but I thought it was okay. The Blu-ray with the extended cut did help this movie a lot. But there's still a lot of problems with this movie, unfortunately, and I don't know. It was an okay movie. I wanted to pick it up just because I wanted to get all the DC movies, and I was excited for the new Batman movie, but I don't know if that's going to be happening anymore. But, I mean, Batman vs. Superman, it's still worth a watch. It's still a pretty cool movie, but it does have some flaws that unfortunately can't be ignored. Next up is the N64 game I picked up in the last couple of months, and that is Glover. Now, the only reason why I bought this is honestly because of memes. There are people in a Discord that meme this a lot, and it looks like a really cool game. Unfortunately, I haven't started yet, but once I do, I'll let you know. Next up is the PS2 stuff, and first up, God of War. Now, believe it or not, this is my first time ever experiencing God of War, other than watching someone's live stream or watching my friend play it. And for a while that I did play of it, it was pretty cool, not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of the Devil May Cry games. I love how those play. And this plays a little bit similar to it, but it's a bit more gorier, which is pretty nice. And the story seems interesting. I'm definitely more interested in going into this, as it just seems like it'd be right up my alley. Next up, Samurai Warriors. Now, a good guy by the name of Bob Samurai is a big fan of these kind of games, and I was interested too, so I decided to pick it up. I've never played Dynasty Warriors, and this plays a lot like that from what I've seen at least, where you just beat up a bunch of enemies. It's kind of cool, but I haven't gotten too deep into this game, so I'm not sure how the story will be, but I'm sure it'll be good, and who knows, maybe I'll review it someday. The only NES game that I picked up in the last couple of months is The Adventures of Bayou Billy. And yes, it is boxed. Unfortunately, it's not complete because it doesn't have its manual, but I don't really care about that as long as it has the game. I am good. And the game is in pretty good condition. And from playtesting of it, it's kind of tough, but I mean, that's what you kind of gotta expect with NES games. But it's pretty fun. I definitely gotta get more into this because, I don't know, it was a fun game. And it's a Konami game back in the day, so you're gonna expect quality. Up next is a PS4 game that I've picked up in the last couple of months, and that is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This is the only PS4 game I got in the last couple of months, and this game is freaking sweet. The disc isn't even in it because, guess what? It's in the PS4, and I've been playing it non-stop. This game is excellent. I am so happy that we have a Tony Hawk game in the modern era that's good. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 was unfortunately not a good game. This is a lot better, and I hope we see a return to skateboarding games because those games were so much fun when I was a kid, and this game is hella good. Over on the Switch, we picked up 3 games. First up is Minecraft. I'm sure you know what Minecraft is. I enjoy Minecraft. I remember in high school when this came out, and I remember playing it on my teacher's computer when he was gone. And I'm sure we weren't supposed to do that, but I mean, we did it anyway. I also played this in computer class, and it was a pretty cool time. Other than that, I mean, I got it just kind of for shits and giggles, and because, it's Minecraft. It's a pretty fun game. Just relax, build whatever you want, and it's kind of cool. Next up, Splatoon 2. Now, I'm not a big fan of online shooters, but I wanted to give this a try because it's Nintendo, and it has a cool twist on it with paint and squids and all that stuff. And I enjoyed this game a lot, actually. Whenever you start up the game and you have those two squid girls talking about the news, takes forever. I don't know why you can't just skip that, but once you get into the game, it's actually pretty fun. And I don't play this game too often, but it's definitely a game that I can play when I'm bored and just see how long I can do. And next up, I won't talk about it much because I'm going to be doing a review of this game next month. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This game. I won't say much more because I have to review it next month. So let's get started with the collections. First up, I got a GameCube last month for around $10 at a garage sale. It came with all the hookups, came with 2 controllers, and the only game it came with was a loose copy of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Probably can't see it that very well, but it's a loose game, and it is what it is. I told Captain Algebra about this, and he was like, you should probably throw it away. And I'm like, nah, I can't throw this away. But I can say that Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and this is just my opinion, is incredibly overrated. I get why people like this game. It's not a bad game, but it's definitely not the best Zelda game of all time. There are way better Zelda games out there, and again, it's not a bad game. I'll give it that. It's not a bad game, but it's not a great game. It's not a Zelda game that I would replay. It's not a Zelda game that I have a lot of fond memories of, even back in the day. The only Zelda games that I really played back in the day was Minish Cap, and that's the only one I have nostalgia for. But Wind Waker, I don't have that memory. And I know a lot of people that are coming up saying that it's the best Zelda game of all time. And if you're one of those people, that's great. But in my opinion, I just think it's a little overrated. I just think there's better Zelda games out there. However, it's not a bad game, so yeah. But the games that I did get and were given to me, first up is Burnout. Now, this is not Burnout 3, but Burnout is a kick-ass game. I wish Burnout would come back. I know we got Burnout Paradise on the PS4, and that's cool, but I want more Burnout. I want Crash Mode. This is one of the best racing game franchises of all time, and I don't understand why this franchise has continued. I just don't understand it. Next up, one that was given to me, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Now, I don't have any memories with Prince of Persia, but from playtesting of this, it seemed pretty cool. It has some elements of Egyptian lore, which is kind of cool. Maybe it's just because of the sand thing, but yeah, it was pretty good. Next up is Prince of Persia. Next up, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. This was given to me by a cousin, and it was pretty cool from what I played of it. I haven't beaten it yet, but from what I played, it seemed pretty cool. It's just I have other games I want to play first. Next up, oh yeah, Resident Evil Remake. My second favorite Resident Evil game of all time. Unfortunately, Resident Evil 2 is the best game ever made, but this game comes at a close second. I love how the horror in this game is real. Crimson Heads are scary as shit. It really does improve on a lot of things that the original Resident Evil couldn't do. Like, they were gonna do a graveyard scene, but they didn't do it in the PS1, so it was put in this version. And this is basically everything they wanted to do, but couldn't on the PS1. And is it the definitive way to play Resident Evil 1? I would say kinda. I mean, the original Resident Evil is still a fantastic game, but this just it makes what made that game really good and does it better. And you can play this game on your PS4, Xbox One, Wii, GameCube, obviously. But unfortunately, this game didn't do well because it was on the GameCube and it wasn't exclusive. And I feel like if this was on the PS2, we would see a much different change in the Resident Evil games. I don't know if that's like the case, but that's what I would predict if this was on PS2. But it's an amazing game. Definitely one of my favorites. And I will be continuing my Let's Play of Resident Evil. I just gotta find the time to do it. Next up, Rogue Ops. Pretty interesting game so far. Didn't get too far into this when play testing, but it seemed alright. It's not complete, but it seems pretty cool. Oh man. A game I do have some nostalgic memories for, and that is The Sims. I remember having this game when I was a kid, and I enjoy The Sims. I enjoy Sims 2, which I do not have, but Sims 1, really cool game. Just you're gone and you're in charge of making this family happy and building houses and doing all that stuff. It's a fun game. Sims 2 is probably the better one in my opinion, but this is still a pretty fun game. And it was not too expensive. Up next, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. This is my favorite Tony Hawk game. I got this on the PS2, and now I have it on the GameCube. This game is amazing. It has one of the best soundtracks of all time. And the last game I got for the GameCube, True Crime Streets of LA, aka Grand Theft Auto for the GameCube. And unfortunately, it's not as good as Grand Theft Auto, but it was a game that was given to me, and I was like, why not? It's not an awful game, but I would prefer GTA over that. And last but not least, we have the stuff I have for the Wii. First up, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I like this game a lot. There is a ton of really fun levels in this game, and it's just a solid Mario game. Now, it's not one of my favorite Mario games of all time. The ones on the Super Nintendo and NES are better in my opinion, but this is a very solid game, and if you have a Wii and you don't have this, definitely pick it up. It's worth it. Next up is the best version of this game, Resident Evil 4 for the Wii. Why? Because it just has the better aiming. With the Wiimote and the motion controls, you get headshots like no one's business. It's really cool. And it's Resident Evil 4. It's got a really cool story. Leon's great. Ashley's kind of annoying. Ada's really cool too. And it's just an overall good game. And I think the Wii version is the best one. Sure, yeah, there is an HD version on the Switch, Xbox, and all that stuff. But personally, I just like this game better in 480p. Like, once you play the games in HD, you kind of see the imperfections. And I just think this and the other versions on the PS2 and GameCube hide the imperfections better. And this is Resident Evil 4. You probably played it, and it's an amazing game. It's not my favorite Resident Evil game, but it is an amazing game. Up next, one that was given to me, Fling Smash. Unfortunately, I do not have Wii Motion Plus, so I cannot play this game. So once I'm able to, I'll let you know. Next, Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. Now, I have to have every single Resident Evil game for every single system, and this is a pretty cool game. You go through past Resident Evil games, and it's a light gun version of those. If you played House of the Dead, you kind of play this, but it has some new elements from the old games that I do like, and it's just an overall fun game. You can play this with multiple people, and it's a lot of fun that way. And it's a good way to get someone through the Resident Evil storyline without having to go through the old ones with the tank controls. Obviously, I would prefer those versions, but, I mean, tank controls aren't for everybody. Now, this came in a big-ass box. I'm going to show you that first. It's Mario Kart Wii. Now, it came with the wheel, and it came with the game. And that's really cool. Mario Kart Wii is one of my favorite Mario Kart games of all time. It's just a lot of fun. And you know, with the wheel, it just seems right. It also came with a Wii remote. with this, it just seems right, you know, driving like an actual car. And it's really cool that I got it in a box. It was given to me. And Mario Kart 8 is a really fun game. I prefer Mario Kart 8 and Double Dash, but this is a solid one. And it's one I do replay every so often when I have my Wii hooked up. Next up, I have been praising this franchise through and through. This is one of my favorite platforming franchises of all time, and it does not get the recognition it deserves. Klonoa. This game is awesome. I have Klonoa 2 on the PS2, and I bought this for around $10, and that's a steal because Klonoa games are going up in price, and that's unfortunate because the PS1 game is amazing. But this is a pretty good game too. This is a bit of a cheaper version of Klonoa 1, but on the Wii, and it's really good. Klonoa, he's super cute. He's got his rabbit ears, and he's awesome. When I got my Wii, this is one of the first games I was playing, and I'm looking to beat this pretty soon, and I just love it. Klonoa is an amazing franchise. I should do a retrospective series on that, but I gotta have every game. And unfortunately, the PS1 game is very expensive. But there is a digital copy on the PS3, so I might have to deal with that. But we'll see what happens. Up next, another game that was given to me, Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2010, or not 2013. I'm not really a hunter, so this was just kind of a throw-in. It's kind of cool, I guess, if you're into those kind of games. I'm not, so yeah. It's just, I don't know, something I'm not interested in. And lastly, the game I got with Klonoa, Xenoblade Chronicles. There was a time when this game was expensive. Thankfully, they made an HD remaster for the Switch, and that dropped down this price. So I got this for around $20, and it was sealed. And of course I opened it up. You can't have sealed games in my collection. Games are meant to be played, and the disc looks really cool because it has the dude's sword and the hole in the middle. And I haven't gotten too far into this game, but I do like RPGs, and this is something I do plan on playing just because it seemed like this was a big kick in the ass for the Wii for having it have some good games for mature audiences and RPG lovers. I want to get The Last Story. That's one on my list for the Wii, but this is so far from what I played pretty cool. And yeah, there is an HD version, but I wanted the Wii version just because of how legendary it was back in the day. Now that is everything that I picked up in the last couple of months and stuff I missed because I went away, and I showed you 2 collections, so hopefully that makes it up. Because I'm doing game reviews now, if there's any games you see in this week, anything that I picked up, let me know down in the comment section below on what you want me to talk about further in depth. Sorry there was no gameplay, I just wanted to get this out there as quickly as possible. But next month I will be doing monthly gaming pickups and all that stuff instead of every other month, just because, why not? And hey, stay classy.